Good evening everyone, this is Zola and I'm back like a duck on a roundabout. Oh dear, as you can see this evening I'm joined by a very special guest, my good friend Elliot Howard. Uh, you may know him as L or Howardinho, E-Pipe, Slim Tuna, E-Horse, Mush, Fat Whale, Mush Pipe, E-Cake. That's a new one, E-Beans. E-Beans is a classic. Anyway, yeah, he's over here visiting and currently playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and completely puggering that game at the moment. Hopefully this is not going to distract me from what I'm trying to teach you, and as you can see I've had to re-record this intro already because I went horribly off topic. They can see it because I've... And there he goes again, just jumping in like he owns the tutorial. Okay, so yeah, before I start annoying you, let's just jump straight in and let's get to what this lesson is about without going off topic. Okay, so let's see how we do. Today let's have a look at what we're going to be creating. We have this pretty cool looking chrome infinite ball, and don't worry, it is looping seamlessly, but I must have missed a frame somewhere. But you get the idea. This is the kind of animation. What I'm going to be basically showing you is how to use a video to drive displacement and animation in cinema. Hopefully make some cool, kind of really cool looking animations, and I've got to stop saying animation, in cinema using videos. Okay, so this is the scene that we are going to be doing, and as you can see we start from what's basically a sphere. I've got reflections in and a HDR map and whatnot, and basically as it goes along it will animate. These ridges will appear. Basically I'll show you this. Ridges appear and then fill up the ball, and then from that point onwards it will actually loop seamlessly. So you can use this to start the animation, or if you want to just create a purely infinitely looping animation, you can do that as well. Okay, so we're actually going to start in After Effects, believe it or not, and I'm going to create a new comp, 1500 by 1500, and click OK. The duration will really depend on how long you want your animation to be. Let's say 10 seconds. Okay, it's very important at this point that you basically have this square. That's why I picked 1500 by 1500. We're at 30 FPS. Make sure your frames per second match your project settings in cinema. As you can see I have 30 here, so that's all good and dandy. Okay, so I am going to create a new solid. Let's go to layer new solid, or hit Command Y, Control Y, and we're going to add the radio waves. As you can see I've got it prepared here because I am a tank. Okay, so this basically creates this kind of weird, very generic looking blue animation by default. We're going to drop the sides down to 4 for this example, and let's go into the motion here. The stroke, we're going to make sure the stroke is completely white, and this is very important because basically the white areas of our animation are going to be the ridges that stick out, and anything that's completely black will not affect the displacement of your original object. So that's very important to remember, which is why we're creating a completely black and white image sequence to drive this. So as you can see here we have the basic building blocks of the animation, I guess. We're going to increase the frequency to about 5, increase the width to 25, start and end width, probably going to increase that frequency in fact, or decrease. Okay, so here we have it, and yeah, there's really nothing more to it than that. This is going to fill the screen from 0 black. We're going to have our shape without any displacement, and as soon as we get to a point where the whole screen is filled with lines, then we are going to have, as you can see, we're dying off here. It's going grey, which is not what we want, and for that you're going to increase the lifespan basically to something large. So this stays white And so yeah, basically once you've got your animation, if you want to increase the distance between these ridges, drop your frequency down, and obviously that will affect how things displace in cinema. So really it depends on how you want your animation to work, how thick you want the ridges to be, and the width between them. But once you're happy with it, go to composition, add to render queue, and render it out as a PNG sequence. So we're going to come up here, select PNG sequence, and hit OK. And then render it out to wherever you want to render it out. Fortunately for me, I came prepared and I have done this already, which is great for you. Okay, so I've created a new scene here in cinema. I'm going to bring in a sphere and increase the segments by maybe 36. And an important thing for this effect is you're going to want to make sure that you're anti-aliasing. I mean, you should do this anyway. First thing you do is when you open a project, go to anti-aliasing, and still image is actually probably a good shout for this one. 11 by 44 should be fine. And as you can see, I've just turned my sphere into a diamond somehow. That was cool. Ah yeah, I must have turned the segments down. Okay, so we're happy with this, and we're going to convert this by hitting up here. You can press C, and now this is actually a polygon and no longer primitive, meaning you can extrude the segments and stuff like that. However, that's not what we're going to be doing, but it's very important to make this editable, or else the material will not displace this. So I'm going to make a new material, drop it on, and I'm going to make this material, I don't know, bleu. That's French for blue. Okay, and we're going to click, I'm going green, displacement. Okay, so I'm going to just select displacement now, and in our texture right here, going to bring in our image sequence, which is our diamonds that we render out, and these are all PNGs, and just bring in any image in the sequence, doesn't matter which one. We don't want to copy it, and as you can see here we have a preview of things that are instantly going to happen, which is great. Okay, now at the moment the problem is we have just imported one picture in the sequence. So we're going to click once, go to the animation tab, and just hit calculate. This is now going to register that this is actually an animation, a string of images, i.e. a sequence, and so it's going to animate over time like we want it to. Okay, so let's just have a look. Right now we have a sphere. Move further on and we can see stuff starting to happen, although probably not in the way we want it to happen. So what are we going to do about this? Well, click sub polygon displacement, and instantly we start to see what is supposed to happen. And the problem with this is even with enhanced OpenGL on, you will not see your displacement. That's just something you're gonna have to live with. Lots of rendering going on. As you can see, we still have problems here. We have disco balling, as I like to call it, and these kind of little ridges along the side of this. So can get rid of those by hitting round geometry, and that will get rid of the disco balling in this case. And if we increase the subdivision level, I'm going to increase it to 6 for the sake of rendering, because just kind of warning, this really does increase your render times like ridiculously. Okay, so that's basically it. So you now have this sphere, the displacement along it being driven by this image sequence we made in here. And yeah, basically if you make this all shiny and nice, put lights and stuff and reflections like I did, I keep doing that, I keep thinking I'm in Photoshop. Basically, yeah, so this is how my scene was set up, and obviously I did some color correction to it here, but you know, the theory behind it is what I've just gone through. So yeah, like I said, this is not really how to make something, but more a cool idea of how to drive animations, and I think this is really a starting block for you, because you can change so many things. You can this doesn't have to be a diamond. You can make this a circle if you wanted it to have a circle. The cube here, the circle doesn't have to be a circle. You could bring in a cube, a pyramid. I'm not going to do it right now because it's going to take a while to render and stuff. But and also just the way, basically the height, the strength. You can play with so many different things. Maybe invert the map so you have white on black. So come in here, type invert. I haven't tried any of these, but you can just basically go crazy and well, that was a bad idea. That's what you get for trying to wing it, Z-Pipe. Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you how to drive your kind of geometry in Cinema. Let's see what else we can do. That's cool. Like I said, this is a starting point. If I throw a bend in here, bend this to look like a smooth turd, and now we have the ridges following the shape of the turd. Yeah. Brilliant. I dug a hole for myself there, didn't I? But yeah, you can see how this can be useful and how you could create some really cool abstract animations with this. So please try it out, and I would love to see what you could come up with. You can post on my YouTube, on my Vimeo, and obviously on my site. And I'll have a look at those comments and check out what you're doing with it. So thanks for watching, and God bless.